Namaskar, good morning, Ram Ram. Welcome to your own channel ACS2. The most important part of astrology is remedies, and the most important part of remedies is gemstone. Now, the question is that which gemstone you are wearing that is giving you progress or destroying you? We are here with all answers. Let's welcome Akash Chauhanji from Calgary, Canada. He is all set with his research. Namaskar, Akash. Ram Ram.
Namaskar, Rohitji, Ram Ram. The motive of making this video is, Rohitji, because every day I do like at least 8 to 10 consultations every day. And the biggest problem which I have seen is gemstones. People are wearing random gemstones just because astrologers wants to make money. So they are selling gemstones right, left, and center. Uh, when we talk about gemstones, Rohitji, the problem is that uh, it is not very clear in the books because there was originally in Parashara Hora Shastra there was no mention of a gemstone. But when we go into Atharva Veda and we start reading about it, then Lord Vishnu and Ma Lakshmi, and Ma Bhumi, Ma Dharti, they all came together, and a lot of sages went to Lord Vishnu to ask for a solution that these planets are giving these kind of issues and these kind of issues. So how do we nullify the issues or make the planet stronger? So Lord Vishnu told them that whenever we want to make a planet stronger, then only we can wear a gemstone because it is to make something strong, not to make something weak strong. It is like I will tell you. I will give you an example in a true sense that how it needs to be done. So what if a planet which is supposed to be made strong is sitting in a very bad place? So what will you do? You will make sure the stronger effects of the bad place. That's why it has to be given with very care and utmost, precision that this gemstone should be worn. Generally, when we talk about the 12, with the 9 planets and the 12 signs today, that what kind of gemstones suit them, there are some disclaimers there that what you need to avoid, and that is what this video is all about.
I
So,
think
Viji here.
before you start with the 12 ascendants, if I'm not wrong, then we can say this gemstone is like a tablet. If you take a right tablet, your fever will go. If you take a wrong tablet, anything can happen.
Side
And
effect.
again, the more important thing is these days what we do, we go to doctor and just give the this medicine and we take ourselves. This is wrong. This is how with gemstones also. You don't consult the astrologers, put the gemstone and go into problems. So this is I think medicine is very much resemble with this gemstone.
There is another modus operandi of astrologers. What they do, they give you the wrong gemstone so that you are in trouble and always can keep consulting them back to back and back. So it
Hmm,
is
yes.
completely very clear with the astrologers that they know that okay, this person, if we give this gemstone, trouble will keep coming and he will keep running to astrologers. So very bad on the part of astrologers because they are ruining their karma, but bad on the other part also because people are believing without any research. Reji now, Ratna. What is Ratna? So when we talk about Navgraha, Ma Dharti and Ma Lakshmi gave some kind of Ratnas to each of the planet. Now for Jupiter, Topaz. You know what? For Jupiter, everyone says that it is yellow sapphire, yellow sapphire. You know why? Because yellow sapphire is little bit expensive. What they have marketed in a way that it becomes very expensive. But Topaz is more than enough for Jupiter, and it is very reasonable. Topaz. For Ketu, it is a stone called cat's eye. There are many substitutes for these, but these are the main gemstones that have been associated with the energy of the planets. For Mercury, it is emerald. For Saturn, it is Neelam or blue sapphire. Okay, exactly. Yellow sapphire is yellow in color. Blue sapphire is blue in color. The contents are mostly the same. For Surya or Sun, it is ruby. For Venus, it is diamond. For Rahu, it is hazonite. Okay, gomed or something that is brown brown zircon. For Mars, it is um, coral, and that is found in the ocean bed. Okay, and Moon, it is pearl. So these are the basic gemstones that have been given to the planets or associated with the planets according to our Shastras. Now, what happens is Rohitji, let's see the houses. So these are the houses, Rohitji. So number one house is the Kendra and Trikona house. That's why it is both the Kendra and the Trikona house. Number two is the Maraka and Apchaya house. So never ever Maraka house stone should be worn. Number three is again a cruel Upchaya house. Number four is Kendra and Apchaya house. Again, see anything, if you see there are only three houses that are the most benefic houses. The number one, number five, and number nine. They do not have any affliction on them. Like neither they are Maraka, neither they are Apachaya, neither they are Upachaya, neither they are Dushtanas, nothing at all. So if you have this clarity in your mind, and that's why this educational video which I am trying to make you is that so that many people who are wearing stones basically by themselves that okay, let me try this stone, let me do this stone. Remember all the things, um, all the actions you take will not be repairable. It will be unrepairable. Once the stone has to do its job, you take a medicine, it has to do the chemical composition will do its job. Same way the stone will do its job. There is no coming back from it. That's why be careful what you're wearing. Now, Rohitji here. So, if you are clear, first house, fifth house, and ninth house. Now, there are very specific rules here that you should not even wear stones that are sometimes if this first, fifth, and ninth lord are in some places. Otherwise, it will give you a lot of trouble. Rohitji, when we talk about gemstones are associated with trikonas and are believed to have specific energies and correspondence with planets. The trikonas refers to first, fifth, and ninth house in a birth chart, which are considered auspicious houses associated with growth, creativity, and spirituality. The first house, we all know it is called the Lagna or the ascendant. It represents your self, personality. It is strengthening this house will strengthen every house automatically. So everyone, after due consideration, can wear the stone of the first house. But what if the first house lord is very afflicted? Then you do not wear the stone because then it will start giving you bad results. Same way, fifth house, Rohitji, it is the trine of creativity, luck, ninth from the ninth, speculative activities. Everyone is in speculation, everyone wants immediate money. For that, the fifth house lord is important, but we have to again see the condition of the fifth house lord, which house it is sitting. If by chance it is sitting in an eighth house, sixth house, then what are you doing? You're making it so strong that will give you negative effects because they're sitting in Dushtana. Same way goes for the ninth house, Rohitji. Ninth house is linked with higher knowledge, spirituality, religion, and long journeys. Now, wearing a gemstone associated with this is to promote spiritual growth, wisdom, and provide protection during travels. So, Rijit, this is how stones are supposed to be worn: first house, fifth house, and ninth house. Now, there is special consideration for Rahu and Ketu. Rahu and Ketu sometimes are very benefic in some houses, and that's why their stone also can be worn. So it depends on complete real analysis of your chart that what stone should you wear. I personally suggest very minimal stones to people who are actually in need. I only suggest them only. Otherwise, remember everything is Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh. Everything will try to make you, try to run you, and try to destroy you. So if you're thinking that you're wearing the stone and your money will increase and this and that, but on the other hand, your health might have problem. On the other hand, your some other family life has problems. So some problem will arise because the planet will get strong at whole, not at half. It will not only strengthen the money. It will, if it is in the fifth house, and fifth house planet is in the 10th house, it will strengthen your career. But same way, it will give you a distance from your family. So your family life will be destroyed or have problem. So always remember everything comes with a price to pay. Now for Aries ascendant Rohit see the Trikonas are number one, number five, and number nine. So what is the best gemstone for them? The number one is Mars. Mars is the owner of the first house and the eighth house, Rohit. So we have to be careful when giving Mars stone. If Mars is by chance sitting in the seventh house and you give stone of Mars to be worn, what happens, Rohit? It destroys you in terms of your relationships. Suddenly your relationship will get into trouble. But what if this first house, Mars, is sitting in the ninth house? Then it is okay because it is sitting in the Bhagyastan, it is sitting in a Trikona house, then there is no problem. Sitting in the fifth house, no problem. It can be worn. But remember, if it is sitting in Maraka houses, seventh house, second house, eighth house, sixth house, 12th house, then we have to be very careful. The second gemstone recommended for them, the best stone for Aries ascendant is always ruby. Again, we have to consider where sun is sitting. Sun should not be in Dushtana. Sun should not be in Apchaya houses, Upchaya houses. For this, you can refer to the first slide that what is Apchaya house, what is Upchaya houses. Third gemstone is Jupiter, which has to be given with utmost care because it is also the owner of the 12th house. If Rohiji Jupiter is sitting in the 12th house, I saw a chart yesterday. Very beautiful chart. He has Aries ascendant Jupiter in the 12th house and in the own sign. So what the astrologer did, it and at 20, 23 or 22 degrees, very powerful in the 12th house. What they said, okay, you wear this Jupiter, wear Pukhraj. And what happened to AG? They wore Pukhraj. 6, 7, 8 months happened. Job also went. No job they are getting. They are getting losses, expenses, expenses. Because Jupiter is sitting in the 12th house for them. So it means the basic role of Jupiter is to make sure that expenses happen. And you have made sure that you have made it more powerful so that that expenses can be multiplied. So do not wear. Yes, if this Jupiter was in the fifth house, and if you would have worn a Jupiter stone, what would have happened? Your luck would have increased because ninth from the ninth, your luck would have increased. You would have gone to, higher education, wisdom, lot of creativity, startups, so many things. So everything depends on your placement of your uh, planets, not by the defined role that the first, fifth, and ninth house wear that stone. Here, what you should not wear is diamond because it is a maraka. Okay, it is the owner of the, not at all, like avoid everything related to Venus. In fact, Aries ascendant people should not even consider eating curd and all this wearing silver. Nothing associated to Venus at all. So in some cases here, Rohitji, Rahu and Ketu gemstone can also be recommended based on your chart and based on the placement of the planets. Now, for Taurus ascendant, the Trikonas say that number 2, number 5, and number 10 are ruled by Venus, Mercury, and Saturn. And Saturn, being the most yoga karka in this chart, has the most potency of giving you very good results. And Neelam or blue sapphire can be worn by these people. Now, remember, the Lagna Lord is also the Lord of the sixth house of debts and enemies as well as health. If wearing Venus and if wearing diamond and diamond, and if you see that Venus is not placed in a good house, for example, Venus is in the eighth house, Venus is in the 12th house, Venus is again in the sixth house, and you're wearing diamond, it will be a disaster. Because what it will do, it will enhance your personality. Everything is good, but your health will not be able to be okay. Your debts will not be able to be tackled. And if those people who are wearing diamond right now and have such kind of a placement in sixth house, eighth house, 12th house, you will see the effect that, oh man, this is what is happening. It should have not been done. Now, what if Venus is sitting in the fifth house? Again, that planet should not be invoked because it becomes debilitated there in the fifth house. So, Venus, the main stone of this chart, Venus should be avoided. But if by chance Venus, the first house lord, is sitting in the ninth house, then it should be won because then it's a very good thing. Your destiny rises for you, and then you will be able to, by your luck, you'll be able to get rid of all the debts and enemies, and health will be very good for you. Ruji, it has to be done in a very positive way. Second stone, very important here, is Mercury. Mercury is again a Maraka as well as a kind of the owner of the uh, uh, Trikona. Now, this means that Mercury stone can be worn. Again, if Mercury is sitting in the second house, no. Mercury is already powerful. We do not want to make it more powerful. If Mercury is sitting in the sixth house, eighth house, 12th house, no. If Venus or Saturn is also sitting in these houses, no. The best placement of Saturn to be is in Lagna here. If Saturn is in ascendant, then you can wear the um, wear a blue sapphire. If Saturn is in the ninth house, you can wear a blue sapphire. If Saturn is in the 10th house, you can wear a blue sapphire. If Saturn is in any other houses, then you should not wear blue sapphire because it will not be giving you good results. Now, in some cases in Taurus ascendant, because Rahu is exalted here, if Rahu is in the first house and exalted, sitting with Venus, see, combination has to be seen because if Rahu is sitting here with Sun, and if you wear the stone of Rahu, it will again destroy you because it will take the form of Sun and Venus. But if it's Rahu is sitting here in the house of Venus and it is sitting with Venus itself, then there is no problem. Then you can go for it, have fun. But no, lot of consideration has to be done when a gemstone is given because everyone, so what has happened, with some astrologers, I'm not criticizing anyone, everyone has their own vidya and their own way of working, but they go on just bookish knowledge that okay, this is what it is written, they do not do research. I always ask, people who have done consultation will understand that I always, are you wearing this stone, are you wearing this kind, is this giving you this effect, because I know that this is my research, right? I have to do research every day to understand that what kind of planets are giving what kind of results. So for Taurus ascendant people, please make sure that do not uh, get overboard with stones. The most beneficial stone for you is neelam, but it completely depends on the placement of Saturn. For Gemini ascendant people, Rohitji, the Lagna Lord is Mercury. The fifth house Lord is what you say, Venus, and the ninth house Lord is Saturn. Now Saturn is also the owner of the eighth house, so very very deep consideration of wearing neelam. Astrologer has just 1 minute to say wear a neelam, but what the effects will bring you is very crazy. Here you have to understand that the most important, most best stone to wear is always related to Mercury, that is emerald, because it is the owner of two Kendras. Okay, it is also the owner of the first house, which is Kendra and Trikona, and the fourth house. But again, fourth house is a house where you can experience some hardships. So, it under consideration, under proper consideration, you should wear uh, gemstone. Now, some people have an exalted Mercury at 11 degrees in the fourth house, and they will wear emerald. What happens? It becomes more powerful. And what happens with this more power? Anything that is more powerful will destroy you. So remember, whenever a stone you are wearing, do not wear something which is already powerful, which is already an own sign, which is already giving you good results. Yes, but what when a stone has to be worn? So, for example, here, what we are talking, yes, here, the owner of your fifth house is at 24 degree in the 10th house. Okay, what does it mean, Rohitji? It means that the owner of the fifth house, that is Venus, is merely reaching exaltation position of 27 degree, but it is at 24 degrees. Then you wear a diamond. What happens, Rohitji, with that is that that will give you a boost and go give boost to Venus to come into exaltation or start giving very good results. So there has to be a lot of maths done before you wear any kind of a stone here. Now, if Mercury, Venus, or Saturn resides in 6th, 8th, or 12th, then it is a no completely. Remember, the Maraka for this extreme Maraka is Moon. So, no stone related to Moon. Again, if you see the Maraka other house, 7th house, is also Jupiter with the 10th house. So, avoid Jupiter at 110%. Don't wear Jupiter stone at all here. And don't wear Moon, that is Pearl for Gemini ascendant. If you are wearing, you have to remove it or get it reconsidered because astrologers wants to make money, man. Everyone wants to make money, but charging your fees and making money is not a crime because that is very black and white. But when people come to you and you start making money out of their weakness, that is sin. For Cancer ascendant Rohitji, Moon is the Lagna Lord, Mars is the fifth house Lord, and Jupiter is the ninth house Lord. Now here Jupiter is also, if we see, the sixth house Lord. So consider it Jupiter before wearing any stone of Jupiter, unless and until Jupiter is in the ninth house or Jupiter is in the first house in exalted position. No stone of Jupiter has to be worn. On the other hand, The fifth house is Mars, and Mars is also the owner of the 10th house. Here, Mars is very auspicious. For this Cancer ascendant, Mars is very auspicious because, Ruji, if you see, God has created so beautiful astrology. Mars in this Lagna, in this ascendant, becomes debilitated in Cancer sign, but still it owns the fifth house and it is owns the 10th house. That means it is a very big yoga karka for you. Kendra and Trikona, right, Rohitji? So Mars, Jupiter, and Moon. Now, under consideration that if Moon, Mars, or Jupiter reside in sixth, eighth, or 12th house, that is a no, 100% no. If they're in other houses, then it depends on their degrees and what they are trying to achieve. Now, here, if Mars goes in the seventh house in exalted position, then also no, not at all, because seventh house is a Maraka house. What will it do? It will increase your luck in partnerships and everything. Get money from partners, but what will it do? It will destroy the nature. That is the true nature of Mars is to destroy relationships, and it will destroy relationships that is related to your spousal relationships. So no. And here, Saturn and Sun are Maraka. See, the second house and the seventh house, and the bigger Maraka is Saturn here because it also owns the eighth house, that is the Dushtana, Maraka and a Dushtana. So no Saturn, no Neelam at all for Cancer ascendant people. Moving on to Leo ascendant, that is my ascendant. Here, ruby is a very extremely benefic stone that you can be wearing. So if um, because see, the ruby is the stone of sun, and sun is the king of all. But now we have to see the placement of Sun. If Sun is in the fifth house, wear a ruby, no problem. Sun is in the ninth house, wear a ruby, no problem. Sun is in the first house, wear a ruby, no problem. What if Sun is in the seventh house, Maraka? No ruby. What if his Sun in the second house? No ruby. What if his Sun in the eighth house, sixth house, 12th house? No ruby. What will happen? The Lagna Lord will automatically become a self-destroying element. So do not wear ruby if this is the case. On the other hand, the stone of Jupiter is the lord of the fifth house, but also the lord of the eighth house. So, for example, Rohiji, my Jupiter is the fifth house lord sitting in the eighth house. I was stupid enough to try Jupiter. I met with an accident. I never ever wanted to wear it again, wear a yellow sapphire. No. I thought, no, man, no, 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 this is not working. So what happens, because Jupiter is very powerful in the eighth house, and the eighth house has the tendency to give you accidents, sudden events, and problems, and that's why it's called a Dushtana. So what happens, Rohiji, if you wear a stone related to the eighth house lord, even if Jupiter was now in the 10th house, I would have really worn Jupiter's stone because it would have given me a boost in my career. If it was in the ninth house, I would have worn the stone because it would have given my destiny would have rises. But no, I do not have to wear the stone of Jupiter because it is the eighth house. It is residing in the eighth house, so avoid it. The most yogakarka planet uh, for Leo ascendant is Mars, and that is why, because it owns a trikona, that means the ninth house as well as the fourth house, a kendra and a trikona. So under good consideration, Mars stone can be worn. That is, a coral can be worn by people. Now again, remember, depending on the placement of Mars, and Mars is in 6, 8, 12, it's a no. If Mars is sitting in the ninth house, for example, Rohiji, for me, my Mars is sitting in the ninth house in a yoga karka position in Bharani nakshatra. Okay, I always thought of wearing Mars, but what happens? It becomes so strong that I start feeling getting dead people's dreams, because Mars is in Bharani nakshatra. That nakshatra is ruled by Yama. So I always keep feel die. I will die. I will. This will happen. This will happen. That will happen. So that is why for Leo ascendant, never ever wear stones that are everything. It is not harmful for wearing Mars here, but it has to be seen that where Mars is sitting and what is happening for you. Otherwise, you will come into lot of trouble. Here, if by chance in the 10th house, if your Rahu is sitting, then you have to wear Gomit for sure. Do not even think about twice about it, because it will take you to a very different level altogether. If you have Leo ascendant 10th house Rahu, such people will be very powerful. if it is not afflicted, by the way. Make sure that Rahu is not sitting with Sun or Rahu is not sitting with Moon here. Okay, otherwise it will be trouble. Wearing Ketu stone always brings Rohitji lot of detachment. So unless and until you want that kind of situation, do not wear it. For Virgo ascendant Rohitji, here we see the Lagna Lord is Mercury and also the Kendra Lord. So it is going to be very Yoga Karka for them. On the other hand, Saturn, the fifth house Lord, and Venus, the Lord of the ninth house. Now, Venus is also Maraka, also the Lord of the second house. So careful. Jupiter is extreme Maraka here because it is the owner of the seventh house and not a very friendly planet with Mercury. Now, if by chance Mercury, Saturn, or Venus reside in sixth, eighth, or 12th house, no, it's a no. What if the owner of the Lagna is in Lagna and in exalted position? No. If you think Mercury is here and it is trying to get exalted at like very less degree it is at, and you want to give power, then yes, then there is no problem. But Rohitji, everything has to be considered in a very important manner to understand that, so Venus here, example, Rohitji. So let's see Venus. Now Venus is sitting in the ninth house. It also owns the second house. Now that stone can be worn, no problem, because Venus is a friend of the ascendant lord. But what if Venus is sitting in the second house? Then it should not be worn because it's a Maraka house. It will become more powerful there. Saturn, Rohiji, it is also the house. It is also the lord of a Dushtana. What if Saturn is sitting in the sixth house? No, not at all. Saturn will enhance the enmity, sorrow for you. So what you should be doing? If Saturn is sitting in the tenth house, no problem. Saturn is sitting in the first house, no problem. Wear Neelam, wear blue sapphire, no problem. But again, you have to see affliction and do sevenfold analysis before you move forward with the stone. Here, if by chance Rahu is sitting in your ninth house, close your eyes and wear Gomez, no problem at all. For Libra ascendant Rohitji. Now here Lagna Lord is Venus, gemstone for the fifth house is Saturn, and gemstone for the ninth house is Mercury. And what not to wear is coral because it is extreme Maraka. Like for Aries ascendant, it is Venus, that is diamond extreme Maraka. For here, Mars is extreme Maraka. So coral never ever. All the Libra ascendant people wearing coral, remove it right now. You see the change in your life. Here, Rohitji, the first house is related to Venus, and Venus also rules here the eighth house. So be very careful before wearing any kind of diamond. If Venus is sitting in the first house, no diamond. If Venus is sitting in the eighth house, no diamond. But if Venus is sitting in the sixth house, exalted position, no diamond. If Venus is sitting in the fifth house, diamond. If Venus is sitting in the ninth house, diamond. Same way goes for Saturn. Saturn is an extremely yoga karka here. If Saturn is sitting in either fourth or fifth house, you can wear a, a blue sapphire. If Saturn is sitting in not fourth and fifth house and sitting in the 11th house, sitting in the ninth house, sitting in the ninth house, still you can wear Neelam. If it's sitting in the sixth house, eighth house, 12th house, not at all. Not means never ever. On the other hand, Mercury, Ruji, is the lord of the 12th house and the ninth house. So unless and until Mercury has to be sitting in the first house or has to be sitting in the ninth house itself, it should not be worn because Ruji, if by chance it is making a Viprit Rajyog, that is by sitting in sixth, eighth, and 12th, it will give you a lot of hardships. Lot of hardships here. And will take you to an isolated place, and that can be jail as well or hospital. So make sure that do not wear unless and until you are advised by a real genuine astrologer. That can be anyone. If you go to your temple also in your area, the Pandit ji will be there who can advise you. But you will understand if anyone is trying to sell you stones, remember that that is not the right astrologer, not the right person. So always remember this. For Scorpio ascendant people, Rohitji, again, Lagna Lord Mars, fifth house Lord Jupiter, and ninth house Lord Moon. These are the stones that you should wear. And what not to wear, Rohitji, is Venus because it is extreme Maraka. Here, remember, Venus is the ruler of the seventh house as well as 12th house. So many people of Scorpio ascendant, because of Venus, their marriage is a lot disturbed. Because if Venus get placed in the 8th house, 6th house, 12th house, then there is loss from marriage always. There is some kind of loss from marriage. So here wearing Venus stone will give you more losses in terms of your money also, and relationships also. Here wearing the first house stone, that is again related to Mars, has to be seen very carefully that where Mars is placed, because it is also the owner of a Dushtana, that is the 6th house. If Mars is placed in the 6th house, no Mars, no coral. 8th house, no coral. 12th house, no coral. Mars sitting here in the ninth house in debilitated position, yes, wear coral. Sitting in the fifth house, in the house of this guy, what we say, Jupiter, no problem, wear coral. Jupiter gemstone again has to be carefully, seen, because Jupiter is also the owner of a Maraka, second house. If Jupiter is sitting in the fifth house, okay, you can wear a stone. If Jupiter is sitting in the second house, no, not at all. If Jupiter is sitting in the 6, 8, and 12, never. It will make become bigger Maraka for you. Yeah, right. So never. Here, Maraka is Venus. Let them be the Maraka. Don't make Jupiter your enemy. And gemstone for the ninth, that is Moon. Gemstone of Moon can be worn again by considering if Moon is in sixth, eighth, or 12th. Not at all. If Moon is sitting in the ninth house, fifth house, okay, no problem. If Moon is sitting in the first house, no, not at all. You should not wear it, because what happens? It looks at the Maraka, and Moon here will become very strong, and it will create a lot of emotional imbalance between you guys. So, Scorpio ascendant, yes. If by chance you have a seventh house Rahu and your marriage is already destroyed, because I have seen that it already gives you a lot of problem, then you can wear a Hezonite, or we call it Gomed, because what will that do? That will give you extreme big status in life. So that can be worn. For Sagittarius ascendant people, Rohitji, Lagna Lord is Jupiter, fifth house Lord is Mars, and the ninth house Lord is Sun. Which in one of the book, it is always said that Jupiter is always exalted in Cancer. In one of the books, I read that Jupiter gives more than exalted results in the sign of Leo. If Jupiter comes in the sign of Leo, it is as powerful as an exalted Jupiter. So here, if by chance the Lagna Lord comes in the ninth house, then without any fail, you can just wear a stone that is yellow sapphire or yellow topaz. No problem at all. 110% that will be very good benefit for you. But if this Jupiter goes and sits in the 6th, 8th, and 12th, not at all. If it comes into the 5th house, you can still wear Jupiter stone. If here Jupiter is most benefit, so now 1, 5, and 9, anywhere it is sitting, you can wear the stone. But other than that, it is sitting in 6, 8, 12, not at all. Even if it is exalted at in 8th, not at all. It means that it is powerful in the 8th, and it will give you the results of the qualities of the 8th house. So do not want to play with energy. Here Saturn is an extreme Maraka, Rohitji. And secondly, we see another Maraka, that is Mercury, but it is not very Maraka, extreme Maraka, because you know why? Because it is also the owner of both the Kendras, and both the Kendras are Vishnu stans. All the Kendras are Vishnu stans, so here it will not give you much trouble. On the second part, Rohitji, Saturn is the owner of the second house and the third house, where the most second house is Maraka house again. Maraka means killer house, by the way. And third house means the house of difficulties, house of lot of struggle and hard work. So it is, if you wear any Saturn related stones here, you will be in a lot of trouble. Make sure if Mars, Jupiter, and Sun resides in 6th, 8th, and 12th house, not at all. You can wear ruby also here, but completely depends on where Sun is sitting. If Sun is sitting in the 4th house, you can wear a ruby. If Sun is sitting in the 10th house, you can wear a ruby. If Sun is sitting in the ninth house, you can wear a ruby. If Sun is sitting in ascendant, you can wear a ruby. But if Sun is sitting by chance in the 11th house, no ruby. It is debilitated. People will tell you ruby panlo. Wear a ruby. No, not at all. No. Remember, it will, you know what? It will become more maraka, more destructive for you. It will make sure your health goes bad, because it is this 11th house is sixth from the sixth. You will see that after wearing ruby, your health is going down. So do not wear any stone without any proper consideration. For Capricorn ascendant people, Rohitji. Now, Lagna Lord is Saturn, 5th house Lord is Venus, and 9th house Lord is Mercury. Here, You have to understand that the extreme maraka for this sign is moon. That's why whenever Saturn and moon sit together, we call wish yoga because it becomes poison. Okay, white and blue mixture. Have you seen the color of poison, Rohit? It's mostly blue, shining blue color. So that is wish yoga. Here, Saturn, Venus, and Mercury are the planets where you can wear the stone, especially diamond. It is an extreme yoga karka for both the signs, for Taurus and for Libra, and for Aquarius and for Rohit ji, which is the other one, uh, Aquarius and Capricorn. Saturn and Venus are the opposite. Like for Venus, Saturn is Yoga Karka. For Saturn, Venus is Yoga Karka. They are extremely in good terms. That's why they have been given such positions. So you can wear a diamond if Venus is in the first house, fifth house, or 10th house. You can wear a diamond. No problem about it. But if Venus goes in the 8th house, 6th house, or 12th house, not at all. It will become the Yoga Karka will become your destructive planet. Not to wear that stones. If here Mercury is the ninth house lord, Rohitji, and Mercury is also, if you see the sixth house lord, and Mercury is sitting in the ninth house, then that stone can be worn. But if it's sitting in the sixth, eighth, and 12th, not at all. Same goes for Saturn. If Saturn is sitting here in the first house or the 10th house, only then Saturn stone should be worn. Otherwise, if it is sitting in the fifth house, not to be worn. If it is sitting in the ninth house, not to be worn. Not at all. Because Saturn, wherever it sits, Rohitji, it slows down your stuff. So what you need to do here, if the Lagna Lord is sitting in the 10th, it will give you a lot of fire related to your karma. What you need to do, you need to have patience. And for that patience, you need to make Saturn more stronger. And more stronger is going to become by putting that stone. What will it do? That patience will come and Saturn that moving fast will not move fast generally, but it will move in a good pace so that your decisions can be taken at the right time. That's why Saturn stone on the 10th should be worn. If Saturn, Venus, or Mercury resides in 6th, 8th, or 12th, not at all. It's zero. You cannot wear it at all. In some cases, Rahu. Now, here comes the role of Rahu because it is the fifth house. When Rahu is sitting in this house, very good. It is perfect for you to wear Rahu stone. And if Ketu is in the 11th house, then you have to be very considerate about wearing Ketu stone because it can give you a little bit of trouble. You do not want that. And that is trouble through isolation through social life. Okay, Rohitji. For Aquarius ascendant, gemstone for the first house, fifth house, and ninth house. That is Saturn, Mercury, and Venus. And what not to wear is sun. Sun is an extreme maraka here. So no, you should not wear sun at all. Now, Rohitji here, just imagine if sun comes and sits in the first house. What does sun become? Sun becomes a yoga karka because Kendra Lord coming in sitting in Kendra and Trikona both. So it is so beautiful how the planet is designed. And what if for Leo ascendant, Sun comes in the seventh house, sits in the Maraka place, in the house of Capricorn, in the house of Aquarius? Sun becomes again a Yoga Karka. Why? Because the Lagna and the Trikona and the Kendra Lord comes and sits in a Kendra only. So there are so many, layers to astrology that people have to understand before they make a judgment. Now, gemstone for the first house here is Saturn, but Saturn is also the owner of the 12th house. So, under proper consideration, only a Saturn stone should be worn. Gemstone of the fifth house is Mercury. Now, Mercury is also the owner of the eighth house. So, Mercury and Saturn, both the planets, you have to be very careful. Now, here, who's the extreme Yoga Karka? It is Venus. So, a diamond can be worn unless and until Venus is sitting in 6th, 8th, or 12th, or here into Rohitji, what you say, into an exalted position in the second house, then it should not be worn. 6, 8, 2, 6, 8, and 12. Not at all. Venus. If it is sitting in any other houses, then after proper consideration, it can be worn. No problem at all. Sunstone ruby should not be worn. It's a Maraka. You will give more strength to the Maraka house. Here, in extreme cases, Rohitji, again, because Rahu is in the fourth house, and fourth house is the house of general happiness. If Rahu is favorable here, then you can wear a stone of Rahu very well, very, very, very nicely. And Rahu can take you to extreme properties, vehicles, luxury, heights. Can't even imagine what it can do. So this is how for Aquarius ascendant you need to be careful about things. Moving on to Pisces ascendant, Rohitji. Now, gemstone for the first is Jupiter, gemstone for the fifth house is Moon, and gemstone for the ninth house is Mars. Here, Rohitji, what not to wear? Mercury, because Mars is not extremely Maraka here. Mercury is extreme Maraka because Mercury and what this guy Jupiter does not go along. Especially Mercury is also the owner of the Kendra, so it is it the problem is that it is Maraka for sure, but it also owns the fourth house. That means all your peace and happiness is ruled by Mercury. So you should not destroy your peace and happiness by making a Maraka stronger. Neither, Rohitji, I feel, unless and until it is extremely required, Mars, that is coral, should be worn because it is the owner of the ninth house. No problem in that. It is owner of the second house also. Here comes the expertise of an astrologer. Here, if Ketu is in a very good position, then a Ketu can be worn because here, Rohitji, it becomes exalted in the ninth house. If Ketu is in a very good position here, then the stone of Gomed, cat's eye, should be worn. Cat's eye should be worn then by the person, but it completely comes from the expertise of a people that who see that Pisces ascendant very properly and say that okay, this is the stone they should wear. For no profit, no loss, if you wear yellow sapphire or a yellow topaz, that is the best stone for you. But again, it depends that Jupiter should not be in 6th, 8th, or 12th. Otherwise, it will create problem, health problem, accidents, problem in hospitals, jail, so many things. Every planet who is the Lagna Lord or any auspicious Lord has the power to destroy you as well. Because it is the nature of planets, Brahma, Vishnu, and Mahesh. Brahma to create things. Vishnu to preserve things, to make sure that is preserved, and Shiva to destroy that preserved thing. So these are the three things that happens every planet does. So depending on that, you should wear a stone. Here, Moon is if it is in favorable position, or if it is in sitting in the own house, or it is sitting exalted in the third house, then you should wear Moon, the stone of Moon, because it will give you good luck. Ninth from the ninth. If you see count from ninth from the ninth, it will come to the fifth house, and there you can wear this stone Moon. Again, if Moon is in sixth, eighth, or 12th, not at all. In case Ketu stone is recommended, you have to be very extremely careful before recommending Ketu stone. Now, please remember that wearing gemstones for astrological purposes is a matter of belief and faith. It is crucial to consult a qualified Vedic astrologer before wearing a gemstone, and they can provide personalized advice based on your individual birth chart. This is a disclaimer, man. Also, make sure that the gemstones are authentic and good quality and have been properly energized or activated by a knowledgeable astrologer. Wearing the wrong gemstone or wearing it incorrectly may not yield the desired effects and could potentially have adverse effects. That is what our Shastras, everything say that everything has an energy and it has to be invoked in the right way. Rohit.
Right, said Akashji. Wearing a gemstone is a big task, and I personally remember this thing that in my lifetime I tried every gemstone. Whatever people told me, I wear that gemstone in past. But finally, you recommended me this mercury stone and zero down on this, and now I'm wearing this only, giving good results. Otherwise, I wear this, yellow sapphire. I got accident. 12th house lord. Somebody told me to put this moti also, pearl. I put that also. I put gomed. I have neelam just made 3 years back. But rightly said, these stones I wear always give the problem. But
Just
yes,
when you see my hand,
no stone.
I think I believe in God bigger than stones. But
Yes.
sometimes some people have bigger desires. I don't have that much desire. I think everything is good by God's grace.
Yes, sometime somewhere somebody is stuck and this stone can do the thing. But the only thing is right stone according to your birth chart. Always consult before this. Thank you, Akashji, for this beautiful video. And
Thank
for
you.
the family members of AC Astro, those who want to take consultation, they can send details on the mail ID or the WhatsApp number given below, and they have a video consultation with Akashji. Thank you very much. Keep blessing us. Keep subscribing. Thank you, Akashji, to you also for making such a researchful video. We'll meet you in some another video. Till then, Jai Shri Ram, Jai Hanuman, Jai Mata, Di, Om Namah Shivaya, Jai Mani.